Hello everybody, this is Clive5 bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. Another one! Can you believe it? This is a matchup between Hui, the blue Protoss in the bottom right hand corner, and ChaoxTech, the red Terran in the bottom left hand corner. So yes, this is another one of the replays that ChaoxTech sent, and it had Epic next to the name, so I figure that it's probably a good one to watch. Then again, probably is a little self-generous. So we're seeing some good worker stacking there on those mineral lines. That's a pretty good tactic to use. Since you don't really have anything else to do early game, you might as well just try to keep your workers on the close patches doubled up so that they're kind of in sync. Just optimize your resource collection a little bit. Probably doesn't help too much, and it most definitely doesn't help me because I can never seem to get the timing just right, and so I don't know. I struggle to get my barracks out in the time that it should be out when I'm trying to do that. But I don't know. It's good practice. You'll get better with time, I think. So anyway, we're seeing early chrono boost from Hui. So we've been seeing quite a lot of early expansion builds from Protoss on this map, which is Shakuras Plateau. Not sure if I mentioned that. Though he is going Gateway first, so we aren't going to see a Forge fast expand, though he might be going one gate into expand. He's definitely trying to get Econ up with the Nexus chrono boost. Unfortunately, I'm not super adept at the Protoss builds yet, I should say. Hui scouting in the correct direction, so he's going to get a pretty early glimpse of ChaoxTech's base. That barracks is off in the corner here, so I don't really know if he's just trying to put a little more time between the scout of Hui and when he determines what's actually going on, just to give him a quick freak out. I don't know really what the purpose is. I've seen him on occasions drop a building down here and plant a reactor so that he can, then float the factory out and do Hellions, so that might be what he's going to do. ChaoxTech becomes a little bit predictable after a while. I guess the same can be said about any player once they have sort of a build that works for them, so long as they aren't playing in tournaments with super high-end players who sort of memorize their classic build. It doesn't become too much of a problem. Nice little pylon right out the corner here, so might be just trying to give himself an area to warp units down into, or I guess early vision of units coming through. I guess I don't really know for sure, but yeah, we do see that reactor being built here, and I wonder if it's going to actually get scouted. Hui is poking around, wondering where those buildings went. He knew that there was something here. Obviously, he saw the barracks before, and now he didn't. Now he doesn't. So I wonder if he'll suspect anything, be able to figure out what exactly is going on here. Rallying those straight in the main of Hui. Hui, in the meantime, getting that second gas up, not chrono boosting warp gate, so he's not going to do anything super aggressive. No, in fact, he is going for that Nexus now, so it does look like he's... Yeah, that was a single gate into expand. And a couple Hellions moving in, and are they going to be able to get past Hui's defenses? No, not at all, not even close. One Hellion goes down, the other runs away with its tail between its legs. You like that? That was lame. Lame! Oh well. Now ChaoxTech deciding that he too needs to get his expansion up and running, lest he fall behind in income. Let's just take a look at that income to start off here. It does look like Hui's ahead in Harvesters by a wide margin, and on par mineral-wise, but that's only because ChaoxTech has those Thor at his disposal. Once Hui's second gets up and running here, he's going to have a clear economic advantage, at least for a couple minutes, I would say. And what's happening here? Just finally getting that second gas for chaoxTech. And finally getting that second gas for chaoxTech. And a second factory. Oh, and a starport as well. Let me go into the production tab so I can keep a little better eye on what actually is happening. So, I've seen chaoxTech very often lift his... Well, I should have seen that a medevac was being produced, but yeah, he likes to lift those Hellions into the main after his first little front door push fails. However, Hui has his units here forming a fairly nice block. I'm not sure if Hellions are able to squeeze in here. Certainly they can squeeze in here, but that's a long way to run around. And yes, barely just squeaking in, but these Hellions are not Blue Flame upgraded, and not chaoxTech's best performance. I do definitely have to say that Protoss are getting a lot better at protecting against that Hellion harass. Observer out now, and that's going to be critical for Hui to see what exactly is going on, what the unit composition of chaoxTech's army is, and he's seeing a couple factories here. Oh, or just a single factory? No, factory down here, factory up here. So Hui's basically seeing it all. Also sees that, hey, chaoxTech doesn't really have a whole lot, except for a couple of Hellions and a few Marines at the front door. And moving out again with that dropship, medevac I should say. Excuse me, and I think he'll be ready for it. He saw it leave with the observer, and there's plenty of stalkers to get the jump on here. And hey, it looks like Hui's going to retaliate with some drop play of his own, perhaps a that thing, Warp Prism production. And oh my! How did those Hellions get through the defenses? Moving straight into the mineral line. Probes are running. Hellions are chasing, but they aren't going to get very far. Did he get any more worker kills? Yeah, he got a few more worker kills that time. I just can't believe that Hui let chaoxTech just run around the long way and get all the probe kills. Alright, so let's see what he decides to load up here. Hui's got a couple of zealots. Decided to leave those two zealots at home. chaoxTech not very well protected over here. Doesn't have very good vision, actually, none at all. Usually chaoxTech is building some sensor towers by this point. Nothing of the sort. And it looks like he's fair game to get dropped here. Ghost Academy now going down, by the way, for chaoxTech in a nice, also blocking sort of position here. But, ooh, nice reaction time for chaoxTech. The Zealots are down. The Warp Prism is, well, just floating by. We're trying to stay safe. Zealots gonna get flamethrowered. We're not really paying much attention to the micro there, just letting those Zealots die. Somewhat of an ineffective drop anyway. So, let's see. Did chaoxTech... I saw that he had a few Hellions over here. I don't know if he had scouted a probe, trying to lay down an expansion here or what, but that should be on his radar now. A third going down for chaoxTech as well. Boy, what's happening here? Ooh, Colossus. Colossus from Hui here. There's already one out. chaoxTech's army, however, is mostly Hellions and siege tanks. I guess that's a pretty good response because the range on the Colossus is decent enough to you know, stay out of the range of the siege. Few ghosts out, however, for chaoxTech, and that might prove tricky for Hui. And here comes another drop. Hui still prepared for it. Well, I guess sort of prepared for it. One Hellion does sneak in the back here and just desperately trying to get a probe kill. Not too successful. So, well, he has 17 by now. That was probably from an earlier attack. So, boy, both players just paying attention to their macro for the most part. Trying to get a few little harass moves in where they can, and here comes another drop from Hui. And once again, there's nothing really back here from ChaoxTech to stop this. A single siege tank, but once those zealots are in range, I guess these siege tanks are protecting each other. They might be okay. Yeah, that was a pretty ineffective prop. Those siege tanks, those zealots are getting destroyed. There it is. Excuse me. So, ChaoxTech landing that third, starting to mine. That was already income, and wow, Hui is ahead, despite the fact that ChaoxTech has a greater number of SCVs. Where is this game going? Vikings. Vikings are out to spot for not only observers that happen to be flying around in conjunction with this Raven, but also to pick off these Colossus, which are growing in number. I should say Colossi. If I'm going to nitpick about other commentators saying Colossi for a single Colossus, I better also be litigious about how I decide to say the word as well. So now breaking down those back rocks here, looks like he's going to try to take the 6 o'clock expansion, but at the same time, it looks like he's going to try to move out and gain some positioning on the map. We've seen in some ChaoxTech games before where he just starts building command centers like crazy across the middle just to put some extra Terran metal between his opponent and his siege tanks, which is a really great deterrent against especially the long-range Colossus. And especially makes it difficult for the infantry units to get close because, well, the Colossus, they're great against tanks and all, but really you got to get the bulk of the army up in there, maybe blinked up into a siege tank line. Hellions racing in to see what's going on here at this 2 o'clock position. Might be able to get a few more probe kills, but again, still these Hellions aren't Blue Flame upgraded and get pretty destroyed before able to really do a whole lot. Hui now getting a 4th of his own started, so it's 4-4 here. And still both players about on par for income and army size. Wow, huge colossal armies. Just sort of waiting for the big battle to happen. I suppose I should check upgrades. Level 1 armor for Hui. Oh, two armor and weapons upgrade for Hui. Let's see what ChaoxTech has. 0-1 ground for his mech units, and no upgrades for his marines. So ChaoxTech actually quite a bit behind on his upgrades, and that can make a big difference in mid to late game. So I know upgrades are one of those things where you just don't see the difference when the upgrade is completed, but mathematically they end up making a huge difference in game. Now starting to throw up a bunch of sensor towers around the map, starting to get himself positioned, sieged down, bunkered in to go up against Hui's forces, which are very nicely spread, I have to say. It doesn't look like he has Storm on these High Templar. I wonder what if he's researching that. Yeah, just about 3/4 of the way researched. Couple scans going down, and ChaoxTech has a pretty good idea of what Hui has. Moving in closer, trying to get a good siege, losing only a few units. Not too bad of a loss there. Terran definitely needs to be careful, very, very careful about where they siege and where the rest of their army is. And wow, ChaoxTech moving those light units up way too far and losing a lot of those Hellions and a lot of those Marines, but Hui surprisingly deciding to press that attack after he had clearly destroyed a large portion of ChaoxTech's ground army, leaving just those tanks around. Hui, however, does need... Oh boy, that's a lot of charged zealots. And he, only engaging in piecemeal, and that's not going to do a bit of good. So poor micro on the part of Hui. Just look at that that supply count. Just breaking over 100 again now. And ChaoxTech is all up in Hui's second base. Things not looking too great for him at this point. Yeah, definitely going to lose that Nexus. Totally mined out of his main. So Hui's operating off of 2 bases here. Has a really huge Zealot army and Archons. Fusion would be proud. He loves Zealot Archon, and for good reason. It is one of the most powerful end game builds around. And ChaoxTech just proceeding to march through Hui's main. Hui going straight for the counter. Might be able to take down a few of ChaoxTech's bases, but honestly, the bases should not be his first priority. Hui needs to strike for the jugular as well. Definitely needs to take down ChaoxTech's producing buildings here. He should... Well, I don't know how well this army is going to fare against ChaoxTech's army. It's rather small. And yikes, ChaoxTech getting bowled over in his main, but ChaoxTech's large tank army doing the same in Hui's main. And boy, no other production around for Hui. A couple of starports for ChaoxTech, so it looks like he might be going perhaps Banshee to deal with this. Well, it doesn't really matter, all these barracks are idle anyway. Command center floating away. Fly away. Probably wants to preserve that energy, fuel energy, I'm going to guess, even though this mineral line is basically entirely mined out. Wow, that's lots of Archons. Hui just going to town on ChaoxTech's base. However, again, Hui's entire main completely destroyed. ChaoxTech not doing a thing with this army, just trying to run his buildings everywhere. And honestly, I think the best thing for ChaoxTech to do right now is destroy whatever offense Hui has on the ground right now, or just do anything, basically do anything with this army. So now he's finally starting to move out again, and that's a good plan. Hui down to 2 bases. ChaoxTech with command centers everywhere, but just not a lot of harvesters. Both players down to 40 harvesters. That's about half of what they had at their peak. Of course, ChaoxTech has those mules, though, and mules at a time like this incredibly critical, which is no doubt why he wanted to save this command center for that mule energy. And wow, look at all the zealots just utterly destroying that planetary fortress. Now Hui moving up to try to take down any remaining command centers. ChaoxTech, though, can just float those buildings away. And I really hope that this doesn't come down to a floating away victory. ChaoxTech continuing to do nothing with his army here. And yes, there are Banshees here, but the Banshees are... they're really going to have a tough time against these Archons, unless, of course, ChaoxTech has Cloak, which he does have researched, so that is going to work incredibly well in his favor. I don't think there are any observers left out on the map for Hui. No, so once there's a single Cloaked Banshee out on the map, ChaoxTech has effectively won the game here. Oh no! But getting his units cornered, his entire tank army just utterly destroyed by those Zealots and Archons. So powerful. That's incredible. And they're at 3-3. That's just insane. Wow. I don't know if I'd call for a nerf or not, because once you get to 3-3, you pretty much can bowl over anything. 3-3 Marines, for example, can be absurd. Wow, lots of Banshees here. They're going to try to stay cloaked for as long as possible. However, their cloak is limited, of course. Going to try to focus down those Archons, and once the Archons are gone, that's it for Hui's anti-air for the moment. He has a few more a few more gateways here, so he can continue to produce, well, Zealots. He can't continue to produce High Templar at this point. He might decide to switch into Stalkers to combat these Banshees. Looks like Hui, though, just to try to finish off, or maybe even just, well, yeah, cripple the remaining weak economy of ChaoxTech, trying to take down whatever bases he can. Just, man, the floating bases have got to be annoying. ChaoxTech producing a lot of Hellions. Man, he has a lot in the bank right now. Look at that. 2 grand in minerals, 1,500 in gas. Hui incredibly strapped for minerals. Not mining like hardly at all from this 2 o'clock base. He's doing okay from the 1 o'clock base, which he, well, was originally his 4th. But he has to be extremely careful because there are a lot of Banshees coming in. He has to try to stay in range of these photon cannons. Ooh, Banshees uncloaking now. They are, a lot of them are running quite low on energy, and yeah, the photon cannons are plentiful. Looks like finally going to have an observer out, and that might change the game substantially for him. But just look at this map here. ChaoxTech on, well, he's not necessarily mining from all these bases, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbital commands, all of which can produce mules, and that's going to be ChaoxTech's income for quite some time. I didn't even notice that these factories were locked off with these rocks. That's kind of funny. It's going to take quite some time for the Hellions to burn through this barricade here. Interesting, a few Phoenix out, so and a battle cruiser. That's, how did I not notice that? 2 battle cruisers out on the scene, and honestly, I don't know how well battle cruisers fare against Archons. Seems like kind of an odd matchup. I know these Phoenix won't hold up very well against the battle cruisers. Yikes! And now they go head-to-head, Archons versus the battle cruisers. Battle cruiser actually not lasting too long. So, oh boy! Now with this observer here, these Banshees have to run. Hui's Phoenix are just tearing through the Banshees, and well, deciding to break off the attack. Not quite sure why. Honestly, he needs to get rid of those Banshees because those are going to be the big nuisance factor and are going to be the main thing keeping him, keeping Hui from winning the game, perhaps. Now both players starting to do very strapped for income, for minerals here. Well, despite the fact that ChaoxTech is mining fairly heavily, just gas for his SCBs here. Both minerals getting a couple gas down here. Again, that huge mule count does help. Now moving those factories in, so man, it really is anyone's game at this point. Though I have to give a slight favor to ChaoxTech just because he has a lot more mining going on, and that's evidenced in the income tab, which I probably should have been on for quite some time now. And you can basically see here, ChaoxTech twice as many minerals per minute, twice as much gas per minute. And yikes, now that those Phoenix are utterly destroyed, ChaoxTech has massive air superiority. Only a few Phoenix left, and those Banshees are still out there somewhere. But yikes, this is becoming a scary air fleet from ChaoxTech. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw a battlecruiser in a Masters level game. One that wasn't like absolutely dominating in like a tournament or something. But here it comes. It looks like ChaoxTech might be moving in for an attack. Hui has, well, his army's not that bad, honestly, and he has High Templar here, which can lay a pretty decent storm. Probably won't do, well, definitely won't do a whole lot to the battlecruiser. Actually, might be better served to use that energy for that other thing that High Templar can do. Actually, I don't see the High Templar. I wonder if it got picked off. The other thing High Templar can do. With the energy, where it converts in opponent's energy into damage. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of it. What's the name of that thing? I don't know. I fail. I fail as a commentator. Well, what can I say? Void Ray out, and I like that the Void Ray is going to do quite well against the battlecruiser. However, the battlecruiser's supported well by these Vikings, so it's going to be a difficult battle. He's going to have to use that anti-air to take out the Vikings, really focus the Vikings, and let the Void Rays do the work on the battlecruisers. It's going to be difficult micro to pick those Vikings out. Seriously, all the Terran units look so similar. Actually moving in from the top here, I like this. Taking down a lot of SCVs, trying to bait in ChaoxTech's army to fight over this cliff, and ChaoxTech decides that it's not a good engagement to make, backs off. But Hui deciding not to press on with the attack either. Looks like he might move out and try to take some bases, which is not the worst idea. Up ChaoxTech laying down that point defense drone. Hui smartly backing off. Needs to save as much of that stalker fire as possible. Ooh, picking off a lot of SCVs and a few Hellions in the process. And, nice back and forth, nice micro there, I'd say, for Hui. I'm actually kind of rooting for Hui because ChaoxTech has yet to send me a human that he's lost. And man, it'd be such a big victory from right now if he could pick off these Ravens too, just so he can't put down that defense drone. And ooh, nice! Finally able to micro focus down that point defense drone. In all honesty, the point defense drone, even with the energy upgrade and the durable materials upgrade, it can't withstand a single volley of stalker fire from this many stalkers. A nice stalker blink there, just keeping the damaged ones in the back of the army, pecking away a little here and there from ChaoxTech's army, which is good because, you know, Hui can recharge those shields. That's basically half of the stalker's energy right there. So as long as he can pick away, back out, pick away, back out, he'll eventually end out ahead. ChaoxTech was wasting a bit of Banshee energy here, and now Hui actually has a force to be reckoned with, and not a good place to engage. That's a really skinny choke, and especially going up against a huge air army that doesn't have to worry about chokes. Wow, Hui blinking straight in, going to face his army head on, trying to focus down those battle cruisers, but the cloaked Banshees are pulling through for the win. They are by far what's turning the tide in this battle. However, all the battlecruisers are gone, completely gone. I'm incredibly surprised about that. Hui doing a great job focusing down those heavy-hitting units and backing out before those Banshees can completely obliterate the remainder of his stalkers. So now it's back to the drawing board, it looks like, for ChaoxTech, building tons and tons and tons of barracks. That's sort of the the OMFG I'm losing strategy for Terran, just to build a bunch of gateways and go mass bio. And, well, really, to go up against a bunch of stalkers, you want Marauders and, well, Marines to support, of course. So I am no doubt, well, we're going to see that from ChaoxTech already starting to produce those Marauders. And, well, done with all the infantry upgrades as well. Hui moving in, trying to take down this, whatever, sort of inner 5 o'clock position from ChaoxTech. ChaoxTech is definitely losing that base. Hui doing a great job blinking in to try to take down a few extra SCVs, and yikes, Hui's got to back off here. ChaoxTech stimming and moving in, taking down more Stalkers than Hui hoped to lose, of course. And so that's not looking good for Hui, and yikes. Now, just all over the place. ChaoxTech is everywhere. Hui's losing. Wow, nice storm. Nice spread on these Stalkers, actually, I gotta say. Doing a great job taking down ChaoxTech's infantry. But once again, these Banshees are just causing huge headache for Hui. He needs to keep, well, make sure that he has observers out. Man, there's so many Banshees. 6 base. Wow. Well, he's kind of bragging a little bit. I was on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I lose. GG. That's it? ChaoxTech says, I have 6 bases, and Hui says, I fold. It is kind of like poker, in a way. And ChaoxTech was kind of bluffing. But at the same time, Hui just didn't have the forces necessary to do anything against ChaoxTech's army. Absolutely mined out here, trying to get a base down here, but the Banshees found it, and it was seconds away from going down. So, wow, that was a back and forth game. Huge gains and losses on both sides. Very fast paced. Thanks to ChaoxTech for sending me that game. Thanks to you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and all that jazz. Thanks for watching.